Hey, so sorry I'm just running a little bit behind here. Got a phone call from my wife. Can you come get your dog? My dog? What about my dog? Where is he? Well, we decided to go for a walk. We got a little bit too far away from the house. Now the dog decides he doesn't want to walk. Well, he weighs 65 pounds. So, yeah, sure, I'll come get the dog. It was like 6 blocks away. I'm not about to try picking him up and carrying him. He's 65 pounds. So I got in the car and went down the road, put him in the car, went for a short drive, brought him back home. Everybody's happy. But the dog decided he wasn't going to walk. And that cost me being able to get this started on time. What are you going to do? Family's family, right? Dogs are people, or both. So you take care of what you got to take care of. Right now I'm working on stuffing a few flips to get us going. On this 1960 1960 Philadelphia. It's a Philadelphia original bank wrapped roll from the Pittsburgh Fed Reserve, branch of Cleveland. We're doing error messages? What are we doing here? Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Say, I can hear you. Error messages? What kind of error messages? Okay, Eric can hear me. What kind of error messages are we talking about, folks? Okay, Levels can hear me just fine. Okay. You reloaded and it works now. Okay. Alright, we're good. I'm going to get half of the roll ready to go with flips. And then middle of the roll, we're going to take a little commercial break and I'll stuff the other half. Almost down to where I've got ready for a new commercial, but not yet. Working on that deal right now. There's my tray. There's my one for the wrapper itself. And then here's my 50 names. My roll. My tool. What else do I need? My bag. My bag right here. Get my 51 little cards inside my bag. Get them all mixed up real good. And here's my roll. Now, I noticed that the coins in this roll were, well, at least the coins on the end of the roll are extremely bright. Really nice looking coins. So hopefully it goes that way throughout the entire roll. 1960 Philadelphia is either one of those really good rolls you run into some good stuff or you don't run into anything. It's kind of feast or famine. Let's see what I can do with the other end of this one. That end I was working on didn't want to come apart. Actually, neither end of this one wants to come apart. There we go. Finally, I got this one done. Alright. Get over to the other side again. Usually, once I get one end opened up, the other end will open up pretty easily because the coins kind of relax and they move a little bit. They leave me a little bit more room to pry. There, it'll come apart. Alright, here we go. Wrapper over the coins. There we go. full roll. Alright, let me get started. Levels of Madness. Coin number 1. Coin number 1, let's see what's on it. Turn this down just a little bit. Get a little better look at the details. Nice earlier die state coin, but doesn't appear to be a die variety on the obverse. Let's flip it over and see what's on the reverse. This is the side that was exposed outward. And on this one we have no hub doubling. Oh, look at those colors. It's really interesting. Very nice toning on that one. Okay, our levels, we have a nice 1960 Philadelphia Lincoln cent, otherwise nothing. And that's coin number 1. Let's go on to coin number 2. Coin number 2 is also for levels. Let's see what we have here. A little bit of stacking rub on the beard. Got no die variety on the obverse. Let's see about the reverse. One of the best places to look on the reverse side of the earlier memorial coins is on the initials. The designer's initials are going to tell you a lot. If they're normal thickness, then you probably have a normal reverse. But if they're extra thick, you could have something good going on. These are normal. So that's coin number 2. We'll just move on. Move on to coin number 3. Coin number 3 turns out to be for Wild Bill. Here's Wild Bill. I'll start looking for markers on these. So we have some die scratches running north and south right there out of the 9. Start learning my dies. Big old crisscross of die scratches above the R of Liberty. Let's take a look at the reverse and see what we get there. Reverse looks normal here. Move on to coin number 4. Number 4 goes to Mr. Worley. And nice die scratch over to the 1 from the vest. A couple of them actually. From the 1 to the vest. I'm looking especially for doubled eyelids. There's a little die crack in there. Looking for any development of hub doubling in Liberty or on the date. And then in the reverse, I'm looking for mostly the initials and the outer lettering. Not much known going on with the central area of the earlier memorial Lincolns. Coin number 5, Joe McBride. See what we can get out of this. I'm looking for anything from extra thickness to separation. Even looking for some class 1 doubling. There could be some class 1 doubling on some of these. Look below the L for a bar L. Eyelids, pretty much anything. And on the reverse, we don't really have much here. There's at least half a dozen different double dies known for the business strike. 1960 large date. So keeping our eyeballs open for those, that's for sure. Guyver comes up next. Is anybody out there? I don't see any conversation going on. We only got 7 people in here right now. I guess 1960 Philadelphia wasn't very popular, huh? Either that or is it the time of day and the fact that we got decent weather outside and everybody's outside? Is that what it is? You're looking for a pop-up reveal? I don't know. We might do that. There's a chance of that. Yeah, there's a chance of it. We only have 7 people in here watching right now. I'll see if I can find something. Get us something to go through. Hey, Joe. Robert Adams. Robert Adams will get. So I got nothing on the obverse here. Let's take a look at the reverse. It's got a normal thickness FG. Everything else appears to be pretty much normal. So that's coin number 8. And number 9. Mr. Marshall. New Marshall, coin number 9. These are all earlier die state coins. They're early to mid die state coins. They're pretty nice early strikes. I'm not at all disappointed in the overall quality of the roll. Maybe a little bit disappointed that we're not finding any die varieties, but it's the thrill of the hunt, right? Still looking. Still looking over here, boss. Mr. McBride, you show up, you get your coin. Got nothing there. That's being the 2nd year of the Memorial Design Reverse. Most of the details, even on the hubs, are still really sharp. Took them a while to start breaking that down. By 1966 or so, a lot of the hubs were in pretty bad shape. I ended up having to replace most of them. Here in 1960, you're also talking about the 2nd year, or actually the 1st year. Scratch that last statement. The very 1st year on which we know of large and small date varieties. So, why did they do that? Yeah, they started off with the small date. And that was intended to be the regular 1960 Lincoln Cent obverse, and for some reason, those things just didn't work out really well. There were a lot of little flaws in the design, a lot of little issues that helped cause die cracks and die chips and dies to just fail in general. So, it wasn't very long into the press run on the small date Lincolns that they decided to change over to this larger, more distinct, cleaner date. So now we have large date and small date for 1960 Philadelphia and Denver. Now the 1960 Denver small date is not much more scarce than the large date, meaning that their roll values are just about double that of the large date. So a couple of dollars to a few dollars, not really a big deal. But the 1960 Philadelphia small date rolls, those are hard to find for anywhere under $100. Whereas their large date rolls, you can find those for a couple of dollars a piece. Original bank wrap rolls might be a little more difficult to find, and they're going to be a little more difficult to locate. course, those mean the exact same thing. I don't know why I double stated. They are going to be a little more expensive too. Original 1960 material is not as easy to find as it used to be. Although it was in the middle of the roll hoarding craze, the roll hoarding craze brought a whole lot of people to a different level of collecting. Pounds and pounds and pounds of rolls and bags were saved. Probably hundreds of tons. A good fourth of the entire circulation of 1960 Lincoln cents were saved. So you got a whole lot of rolls, a whole lot of bags out there still. I mean, I'll give you 10 times face for a sealed bag, but they're not going to be easy to find. No, sorry, not 10 times face. I'll give you 5 times face for it. 5 times face, I'll pay you $250 for a $50 sealed bag. 1960 Philadelphia or Denver. The Philadelphias, I tend to pay a little less for them because it's the Denver that has all the repunchment marks and fanfare and variety and double dies and stuff like that. And yeah, most people kind of steer clear of the Philadelphia mint stuff. So there's more of it out there. A little bit easier to get. This is a nice clean looking coin. That is. Very nice looking one. A little hit on the shoulder. A little stacking rib on the jaw. Down by the chin. Otherwise, very nice. Very nice. These coins are toned down just a little bit in color, but they are still very bright and luster. Very nice coins. Pretty high quality stuff. Oops. I need to get Wild Bill's name in with that one. There we go. Now, Mr. Marshall brings out coin number 17. Coin number 17 will go to Mr. Marshall. Nothing out of the ordinary yet. Alright, coin number 18. Coin number 18 will go to Mr. Worley. Let's see what Mr. Worley gets. Looks like, unfortunately, we may end up waiting for another roll to start coming up with die varieties. This 59D roll should be pretty good. And we'll have to see. It's going to come up later on this evening after Jessica's auction. Jessica's auction is, what, 2.5 hours away? Oh, look at that. And a wrapper going out to Mr. Worley. A wrapper to Mr. Worley. For reveal number 109, this is a Fed Reserve wrapper from not Philadelphia, it's from Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, PA. And next will be Adam Chambers. Mr. Adam? Let's see. Not seeing anything of any variety value here yet. Take a look at the reverse and see what we've got there. Looks like all the same music. That's number 19 for Adam Chambers. Now for number 20. Goes to Jim Fletcher. Number 20 for Jim Fletcher. And nothing on that side. Little spike on the corner of the cornice. Interesting little thing. Alright, nothing there for coin number 20. That's for Jim Fletcher. Now coin number 21. 21 goes to Robert Adams. Nothing there. So we got ourselves a dud roll. Nice coins, really nice condition, pretty colors, no varieties. It's okay. There's some people who aren't even out for varieties. They're just trying to find nice, higher grade coins. That's what we're working on here at this point. Go Wi-Fi. Go Wi-Fi gets the next coin. It's coin number 22. Nowhere. Coin number 22. Coin number 22 gets us nowhere. And there's Go Wi-Fi's. Next will be Go Wi-Fi again. Coin number 23. There's coin number 23. You guys starting to get the hang of die state? We keep looking through rolls and I keep telling you about the grades and the die state and stuff like that. They should be helping you out somewhat. This is an early mid-die state. You can tell because it has a little bit of flaking toward the edge of the design on the E there. And down here on the lettering. So it's an early mid-die state. Coin number 24 will go to Mr. Marshall. Mr. Marshall gets coin number 24, and here it is. I'd look at that one just a little bit harder. Looked like it might have had some doubling, but that was just reflections. That's coin number 24 for Mr. Marshall. Hello, Captain Jigger. Coin number 25. Coin number 25 goes to Paul Hampton. Take a look at this one, then we're going to run for a break real quick while I finish stuffing flips. I'll be back to finish the roll. Nothing doing. Nothing there. So now we're halfway through the roll. We have no die varieties yet. Number of pretty nice looking coins with decent luster. A nice color too. We've got no die varieties yet. We'll be back in just a minute. Coin auctions, educational videos, live roll hunts, and much more. Come join in the educational fun with Shay. Search Mantic Coins on YouTube and subscribe today. The best in online auctions just got better. Now you can enjoy Coin Night live auctions twice weekly with the addition of CNLA Weekend Edition with your host, Jessica Johnson. All the same excitement and the same great deals with a new host and at a new time. Come join in the fun this weekend. Okay, well, that didn't quite get me there. I'll be done with this in just a minute. I'm up to number 45, and I'm working on getting my flip inserts together prior to finishing the second half of the roll. Been still working on the boxes today for the box lot sale I got coming up on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. There'll be a box lot sale, boxes of rolls. Up to 25 rolls per box. They're shipped in small flat rate boxes. Bids start at $1 per box. A lot of value in some of these boxes. Some of these boxes have hundreds of dollars worth of coins in them. Kelly Michaud gets coin number 26. Let's take a look at coin number 26 real quick. See that little whisker coming up off the top of the one? It's a good marker. I've seen it before, which tells me that we've seen this die before in this roll. Yeah, we got nothing on the rest of the coin. All right, coin number 27. Paul Hampton. Paul Hampton for coin number 27. There's your whisker again. Same die. Look at it for errors. See if there's anything in error here. Struck through laminations, split dies. So a number of different things that can happen. Massively grease filled, struck through dropped letters, anything. We have to look for all that, because that's a coin-to-coin thing. That's not something that develops on the die over time. So one coin could be normal, the next coin an error, and the next coin could be normal again. That's the nature of striking errors and planchet errors. Planchet errors could be, you could have an improper planchet. Say you've got a silver planchet instead of a copper planchet. And silver planchet's going to jump in there in between two copper planchets. It's going to get minted, and you got yourself a really valuable error. And then the coin on either side of that coin were completely normal. That's a striking error or a planchet error. How those are very, very coin to coin. Then you have die errors. Die errors are things that develop on the die as the die is being used, such as cuds, split dies, die cracks, clashes, anything that happens on the die that takes the die out of its original condition is a die error. Those are repeatable, but they're only repeatable after the error occurs on the die. So what you see here now could be a very normal strike on a 1960 Lincoln cent. However, 100 coins after this one, that die could have split wide open, could have developed a cud, rim-to-rim die break, pretty much anything, and changed the face of the coin that's minted with that die. Markers would be the same. So there you have a die error. So die varieties, like doubled dies, repunch, mint marks, things like that, they're on the die when the die is first hung on the press to ever mint coins. Your die variety is already there. And while it's going to wear through the age of the die, those characteristics are going to remain there. It's going to be the same. So your doubling will actually outlive any of your markers. Things like die cracks, clash marks, die polishing, gouges. Your doubling will live until the very end of that die. So that's a die variety. Other people tend to mix the two terms, either using them interchangeably or using them to define something that's a little different from what I learned as their definition. And, well, that's a little bit confusing, because what I call a die error, other people might call a die variety, or just a variety. There is a difference in those terms, too, die variety versus variety. A die variety is something that happens on one single die, like hub doubling, repunch mint mark, over mint mark, repunch date, stuff like that. So that's stuff that happens on one single die is a die variety. Then a variety is a usually intended change in the design used on multiple dies in a given year. Case in point, 1960 Philadelphia, the large date and the small date. The small dates came out first. They minted them for a couple of days, switched over to the large date, minted the remainder of the mintage in large date. Now you've got two different date sizes. They weren't necessarily meant to be noticed by the U.S. Mint. It was the very last thing they wanted to create at that point in time was another collectible that caused people to pull pocket change out of circulation because they were having trouble keeping coins circulating at that point in time. But they sure did with the small date and the large date. They caused a whole bag and roll hoarding craze that basically hasn't stopped. It's never stopped, actually. So we get up to, say 1963, 64, and they start wondering, okay, what are we going to do to keep these people from hoarding up all these bags? Can't even keep commerce going because people are buying up all of our pennies and sticking them in their closets. Well, they decide that beginning 1965, they're going to quit minting pennies with mint marks because they think that that is what's causing most of the problem is that they're buying, one collector who might buy 3 different bags from 3 different mints. If you only had what appeared to be one mint, they might only buy 2 bags, and that leaves a bag for commerce. So 1965, they removed all the mint marks from pennies just for that reason. Collectors were hoarding too many rolls. It kept going in 1966 and into 1967, and that's when they decided, you know what, this really isn't working, and we need to be able to trace coins in circulation back to their origin, and that's what mint marks are for. So in 1968, they began putting the mint mark back on Lincoln cents. Also during that period of time, Philadelphia shifted all of their proof set mintage over to San Francisco. So while there's no mint mark on proof coins up until 1968, 1968 does mark the first year that we had mint marks on proof coins for regular commerce. The typical proof set enthusiast. That's coin number 36. That was now out of the way. Now for coin number 37. Oops. Gotta get Paul Hampton's name in there. Can't leave Paul's name out. There we go. Now coin number 37. Coin number 37 goes to Kelly Michaud. Nothing there. Oh God, nobody's saying anything. Everybody go to sleep on me, or are they all just intently listening to the education that they're gleaning from today's video? You guys have to ask me a question or let me know you're alive. I don't talk to myself very often, so it might prompt me to shut up if I'm not being asked any questions or anyone saying anything, commenting, or otherwise. People get sleepy after a meal. Is that what you guys have eaten? I haven't. It was 1:41 in the afternoon. I've not eaten my lunch yet. I guess I'll go down and eat lunch as soon as I finish the broadcast here. People get sleepy after they listen to me, I think. I think that's part of it. Okay, so other people say they're listening, which is good. I appreciate that. Ray Lungy. Ray Lungy gets coin number 39. You know, this coronavirus has me wondering about the overall mintage of coins in 2020. And keep our eyeballs open because the mint may not mint as many coins this year as they have in recent years. Adam Chambers. Part of this could be because of the virtual shutdown of our economy. People aren't using currency cash as much as they did last year. But in addition to that, everything has basically ground to a halt as far as commerce is concerned. Got people all over the country wondering when that's going to end. There's Wild Bill, coin number 41. This one's got some interesting swirlies on it that I've not seen yet, I don't think. Might have. I don't see anything doubled there, though. There's coin number 41. So I guess up until everything calms down with the whole coronavirus issue, I'll just keep sitting fat and happy going through rolls of coins. I've got enough rolls of coins to last us years. So I'm sure once coronavirus goes away, regardless of how long it is from now, I'll still have coins. Teach you for canceling all my shows on me. Don't need them. I got enough here to have a coin show of my own. That's coin number 42. Now for coin number 43. Moving on to 43, got Levels of Madness. And we aren't seeing anything of luck in this roll. Nice sharp design though. Really sharp looking edges. It's pretty much an early die stake coin here. No flow lines. Everything's all scratches on the die surface. But if this didn't have those die surface scratch lines, this thing would be perfect. Really nice. The big DDR for 1964. I'd love to find some of those. I haven't ever found any of them, but I have been in situations where I was able to purchase a few of them. I do have a few, but I had to buy them. I couldn't find them. In looking for that double die reverse, I found a number of minor double die obverses and reverses on 1964 Lincolns, but out of the, I'm going to say at least 2 to 3 dozen different die varieties known for 1964 Philadelphia, I'm going to say probably 20 to 30 of them are proof. There are a lot of proof double dies for 1964. And looks like we're going to get started and finished with this roll in pretty quick time with no die varieties. Not what I want to see. Serifs on the right side of 1 cent and thick initials, plus found a few DDOs so far. Nice. Very nice. Coins for amateurs. How you doing? Been searching coins lately? Yeah, we have too around here. We're not finding very much of luck right now. But I tell you what, we've got some rolls coming up this coming week that are going to change that for sure. We have a 1936 S roll. And probably in another week or so, we'll do a 1937 S roll. 1945D, 1947D, 1949S. We get a number of them. The big DDR for 64 or 66. Huh. Yeah. I wish you a lot of luck on that 66 venture. The big DDR for 1966, I think there's probably 3 or 4 known. They are not at all common. Oh, bird's nest up there in the top of the E of cent. Makes this one a slightly interesting coin. Just because of that. Not everything has to be valuable to be interesting. Not to me, anyway. Varieties in steel cents. Now, those aren't really hard to find. Not if you've got good steel cents. You can find a few varieties in them. Picked up a roll a couple of weeks ago that has some varieties in it. Different strokes for different folks. I like getting a whole bunch of rolls, selling most of them, while I look through the rest. I seem to get my foot in the door as being a wholesale buyer. Hey, looky there, we got a little clip. Really small rim clip right there on that 1960. See what else we have on here. A little bit of Blakesley right there. So we do have a little rim clip. Let's see, let me back this up so we can see it really nice. We only got a couple of coins left in this row. We're not going to find any double dies here. There we go. Nice little rim clip, probably, maybe 2-3%. It's not even quite 5%, but it's there anyway. It's a clip. 1960D large date. Take a look at it here on the reverse. Get this thing better focused. There we go. Just took a little bite out of the rim. I didn't even notice that sitting there like that. Of course, a clip that small is not going to be easy to notice anyway. This one goes to Jim Fletcher. That's coin number 48. Take a look at coin number 49. Will be for Guyver. That's the third clip I've found in roll reveals. Third one. Well, no, actually, I found a 63 last week when we were filling up boxes. I was counting that one. We found a 38 clip in a roll once. Was that 38? Was that 38D? I think it was a 38D. And we just found this 1960 Philadelphia clip, which that was kind of cool too. All right, get Guyver's name in here. And the final coin in the roll goes to Robert Adams. Let's see what Robert gets. A little bit of color, but a little bit of spotty too. Yeah, It was 38 Philadelphia. That's what it was. Now I remember. 38 Philadelphia. All right, folks. Well, that's it for now. Got another one coming up after Jessica's auction. Jessica's auction is going to be in about 2 hours. It's be at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Central. And then at 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to have a show for 1959D, roll reveal number 110. So until then, I'm going to go walk the dog and get some lunch. Maybe watch a TV show or something else completely useless. Or I might even build a couple of boxes for the auction coming up this next week. I've got 50 coins here. Unfortunately, none of them happen to be die varieties. Alright, folks, I'll see you guys either at the auction or later on this evening for the reveal at 7 p.m.